Hello everyone. Let us talk about a new concept like limiting reagent here in this video. I guess you have been following the playlist and up till now you must have seen the videos posted based on normality, molarity, mole fraction, percentage composition, units of measurement, accuracy, precision, etc. etc. So in this series or with related to that chapter, I guess this is the last topic which is left to be covered. So hi, today I'm going to cover limiting reactant. I'm Neha Patni. Let us go ahead with what is a limiting reactant. So let's say we'll start with this case study that if a person works in a burger shop and a very popular burger is always made using two slices of bread, three tomato slices and one slice of cheese. Now you assume that one day only these quantities are left. The question is how many burgers can be made and what will be the leftover. So looking into what are the ingredients, what do you think? If two slices of bread are there and eight slices of bread are available, so I guess with that you are able to understand how many burgers can be made, right? So likewise, you solve this problem and you'll be able to get that with the help of bread, you'll be able to make four burgers. With the help of tomato slices, since per burger, it would be nine. And with respect to the cheese, it would be five. So, how many burgers in total would be made? Because you have been given the ingredients, right? Now, with the logic, I hope you are able to understand that whatever is least, answer is 3, right? So here the tomato is the limiting ingredient because that is going to limit the amount of the product which is going to be made. So if the ingredients are there and if one of the ingredient is lesser, then you call that as a limiting ingredient. So that limiting reactant or a reagent is the reactant that is consumed first, and that therefore limits the amount of product that can be formed. Because of that, the product would not be formed properly. Correct. So let's go ahead with one more example. Hydrogen can be obtained from the reaction of methane with water vapor. Now assume if you have 10 methane molecules and 16 H2O molecules and let them react. Now how many hydrogen and CO molecules can be formed? If you do all those permutation and combinations, now you will reach up to that 10 CH4 is there and then H2O will be left behind. Fine, because it does not have any CH4 molecules to react with that H2O, and that is why they are going to end up as a free. So which one is a limiting reagent? 10 CH4, 16 H2O, what do you think? Obviously, what is extra here? H2O. So CH4 is the limiting reagent. So amount of methane limits the amount of product that can be formed. Similarly, let us go ahead with ammonia synthesis. Assume that 5 N2 molecules and 9 H2 molecules are placed in flask. Is this a stoichiometric mixture or one will run out first? Obviously, if you go by the drawing, you'll be able to understand. But directly, if I want to say, it is 1:3 ratio. So if 5 N2 molecules are there, it would need 15 H2 molecules. So which one is running out first? You should be able to understand. Let us go ahead with one question. Suppose we make 20 gram of methane react with 64 gram of oxygen. Which one is the limiting reagent? Now the things are present in the grams, right? So you should remember the conversion of moles into gram. So if I have to I have to write the reaction first. Let's see the reaction. Now based on the stoichiometric ratios, as I said, 16 gram will react with 64 grams. However, in the question I've been given 20 grams. That means 4 gram of methane would be extra, and what is left is 0 gram oxygen. So here the reactants are not taken in the proportion, and the 4 gram of CH4 will be left unreacted because it is in excess. Oxygen is consumed fully, and hence oxygen is the limiting reagent. It is going to decide the amount of product formed. Now, how are you going to find out? There are two ways to determine the limiting reactant in a chemical reaction. First is determination of limiting reactant using reactant quantities. Like you just compare the moles of reactant and see which is running fast. And second is you can use the quantities of product formed. So you just consider the amount of product that can be formed by consuming each reactant. So convert each reactant into product, and whosoever is giving you the less amount of the product must run out first, and that would be limiting. Now these two approaches I'll be taking in the next two questions. In fact, one question only, which I'll solve using both of the approaches. First we'll start with how reactant quantities can be used, and second we'll go ahead with how product formed can be given used to find out the limiting reagent. Let's go ahead with the first approach, which is determination using reactant quantities. Now the question says that 25 kgs of N2 and 5 kilograms of hydrogen are mixed and they are reacted to form ammonia. Now you determine whether nitrogen or hydrogen is the limiting reactant, and then determine the amount of ammonia that is formed. So first you have to find out that which one is the limiting reactant, and at the end, if that is the limiting reactant, obviously is going to limit the amount of the product formed. So you have to convert that into the amount of ammonia which is going to be formed, right? So let's go ahead with, if 25 gram is there, so first I'll convert it into mole. And in order to convert that, you will go, obviously gram per mole, you have to divide it by the weight. So if you divide it by the weight, you'll be getting the moles of N2. And at the same time, let us calculate the moles of H2 divided by 2. So you will be getting roughly the amount of H2 and N2 moles. Now, as per the stoichiometric reaction, 1 mole of N2 reacts with 3 mole of H2. So, these many moles which you have calculated will react with how many moles of H2. So, you just calculated, you got to know that it is 2.68. Now, obviously, 2.48 is lesser than the 2.68. So, H2 would be the limiting reagent. I hope you understand that. Now, since this is the limiting reagent, you have to form ammonia from that. So if 3 moles of H2 gives 2 moles of NH3, then these many moles of H2 will give how many moles of NH3? Clear? And now you have to convert this mole into kg. So you just use the molecular weight, gram per mole, multiply it with 17. So you will get the grams, and then you convert it into kg. I hope it's very easy, right? You just have to utilize the concept which you have learned so far in my previous videos, that how to convert this gram into moles, that has been covered later earlier in the previous videos, right? So what we did is we saw that 25 kg of nitrogen is there, and then you just convert it into moles. Then you converted H2 into moles, and then you found that if nitrogen is 8.93 and it reacts with 3 mole of H2, it must require this much H2. But the H2 which you are getting is lesser than that. That means H2 is the limiting reactant. And based on that, if 3 moles of H2 gives you 2 moles of NH3, then these many moles of H2 will give how many moles of NH3? And based on that, you will convert it into gram and then kg. That's point 1. Now, similarly, looking into the reactant quantity, there is another way around also, that you could have started instead with the given amount of hydrogen, right? And then you can calculate the amount of N2 also, that 3 moles of H2 reacts with 1 mole of N2. So this many moles of H2 will react with how many moles of N2? Now, since 2.48 mole hydrogen requires these much N2, and what you have got in the question is 8.93. So 8.93 is greater. So you can say that the nitrogen is in excess and hydrogen will run out. So you can say that the hydrogen will limit the amount of ammonia formed. So both ways, if the logic is clear, then both ways you will be able to calculate which one is the limiting reactant. In the previous slide, you calculated that if this much N2 is there, how much H2 will be required. Or in this slide, I said that if this much H2 is there, how much N2 will be required. Both of the things are using the reactant quantity only. So it's point 1, that we are going to determine the limiting reactant using reactant quantity only. Secondly, basically what we have done here is we just got that gram into the mole, then we found conversion factor of mole A to B, and then mole B, like obviously we got that for nitrogen, then nitrogen we converted into hydrogen, and for hydrogen, once we have got the limiting reagent in the moles, we converted into grams, and then we got the grams of B. So that is what the approach we have used. We have used mole into gram. So that is how gram A is converted to gram B, right? Now let us go ahead with a similar approach. You could have done this also, like in this experiment, you have got 2.48, 8.93 earlier in the first slide. Now if you divide them, right, if you divide them, you will get 2.78, and you can simply say that 2.78 is lesser than 3, which is required. as per the reaction stoichiometry, and that means there is one element which is limiting. Now which one is limiting? Obviously the numerator, because if the numerator is less, then only it is going to be less than 7. If numerator is more, then it is going to be greater than 3. I'm sorry, greater than 3, not 7. So what I'm trying to say is, if numerator is greater, then it would be greater than 3. If numerator is smaller, then it would be less than 3. So from that I'm able to understand that it's only the hydrogen which is limiting. So here also we are able to understand that hydrogen is limiting. So in any case, with the logic, you'll be able to understand that which molecule is used up fast, and which one is going to limit the amount of product, and similarly which one will run out first, or which one would be the limiting reagent or reactant. I hope this is clear. Now let us go ahead with the same question, but we'll see now how are we going to find out the limiting reactant using the quantity of product formed. So in the previous question, when we saw the reaction, we saw that these many moles of nitrogen and these many moles of hydrogen are there. Now let's say how much ammonia would form. So 1 mole of N2 forms 2 mole of NH3. So the ammonia formed from N2 would be this much mole. Now, how much NH3 would be formed if H2 is completely used up? 2.48, 2 by 3. Similarly, you will be getting 1.65. Now, because of a smaller amount of NH3 is produced, where the smaller amount of NH3 is produced, this is 1 and this is 2. Out of both, which one is making lesser amount of ammonia? Obviously this one. So as discussed, whosoever is making the less amount of product, that would be the limiting thing. So here the H2 is the limiting reactant and the amount of NH3 formed is this. Now as we have seen earlier, we have to convert the moles into gram and then gram to kg, right? So you convert the mole into gram by multiplying it with the weight and then convert it into kg. So that is the amount of NH3 formed when hydrogen would be the limiting reagent, right? So it is very easy. Either way you can solve the question. Either you take the first approach wherein you said that the reactant quantity you will convert, and in second you said that how much quantity of the product is formed. Whosoever is making the less product would be the limiting reagent. So both of the cases are done here. Now let's go ahead with one more question. They are saying that 50 kg of N2 and 10 kg of H2 are mixed to produce ammonia. Now you calculate the ammonia formed and identifying the limiting reagent. Similar question. Now what will you do? You'll approach either of the two approaches. Let's go ahead with one of the approach which I'm using here. At the end, you have to tell me that which approach I have actually used here. So now if we go by the ratios again, 50 kg of nitrogen, and if I've converted into moles, I'll be able to convert it by dividing with the molecular weight. Similarly for hydrogen, I'll get the moles. Now once both of the moles are done, what will you do? You will convert. So this multiply by 3 times will give you the requirement, how much N2 will require. So it requires this, but you are getting only this. That means hydrogen is the limiting reagent. And now since this is the limiting reagent, you just have to convert it into ammonia. Now 3 moles give 2 moles, then this much mole will give how much moles of ammonia. Once the moles are done, convert it into gram. How will you do that? Multiply it with the weight and multiply it with 1000 to convert it into kg. So with that, I think you're able to understand. It's very simple. You just get the moles first and then find out which one is the limiting reagent which is falling shorter. And once the limiting reagent is finalized, convert it into product and give the product in kg. Now this is all for today. I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to say, and don't forget to mention in the comment that the last example is from which category, category 1 reactant or the category 2 product. And also, in case if you want me to cover more numericals, please let me know in the comment. And if you're liking the videos, or if you have any positive comment or a negative comment, please do mention. That will give me some kind of way. Thank you so much for being here.